The idea for Zimmerit was born as a method against anti-tank mines, especially magnetic mines. As the name suggests, these were mines that were glued to the tank's armor, using magnets by soldiers outside the vehicle. If the mine was successfully attached to the tank, there was little the vehicle's crew could do, if they even knew it was there, to prevent it from detonating. Such mines could deal with any type of armor during World War II. The Germans introduced the Haftladung magnetic mine in 1942. This 3 kilograms weapon contained a shaped charge that could penetrate up to 140 millimeters of steel. This is more than 3 times the thickness of the Sherman side armor. It was attached to the target using 3 strong magnets at the base of the mine. The Germans produced over 500,000 Haftladung mines during the war. Most of them were replaced later in the conflict by Panzerfausts. However, when they were first introduced, the Germans feared that these weapons could be easily copied by their enemies. Therefore, they began to develop preventive measures to prevent the operation of enemy mines. This is why Zimmerit was created. Zimmerit was a barrier that prevented magnetic mines from coming into direct contact with the metal surfaces of vehicles. The magnetic field weakens very quickly with increasing distance. The non-conductive paste kept the mine's magnet too far from the vehicle's steel to stick to it. The paste had the consistency of thick mass or clay. It was applied to the vehicle, usually in a factory, given a pattern, and then hardened with blowtorches until it became as hard as concrete. There were several variations of Zimmerit patterns ranging from the regular comb-shaped pattern to the less common waffle-shaped pattern. The differences were mainly due to the factory producing each type of vehicle. For example, the waffle pattern was seen almost exclusively on Sturmgeschütz III assault guns. It consisted of 25% vinyl acetate, 10% wood filler, 40% barium sulfate, 10% zinc sulfide, 15% ochre pigment. Zimmerit was applied to some tanks and closed self-propelled guns produced from December 1943 to September 1944. It was rarely applied to open construction vehicles. The rough appearance of the coating gave it a distinctive appearance. Zimmerit was not effective in practice because the Allies rarely used magnetic mines against German tanks. They were neither common nor popular with Allied soldiers, who preferred other anti-tank methods, such as anti-tank grenades, mortars, or recoilless guns. Additionally, magnetic mines were ineffective on dusty or muddy surfaces, which interfered with their adhesion. Zimmerit also had several disadvantages. It was expensive and time-consuming to produce and apply. It required special equipment and personnel to apply and cure the paste. It was also easily damaged by bullets or impacts. Some tank commanders also feared that Zimmerit might catch fire when hit or exposed to high temperatures. While this was not true, it did cause many to remove the polish from their vehicles. In 1944, the German command issued an order to discontinue the use of Zimmerit on new vehicles. The reason was both concerns about the flammability of the paste and a change in production priorities. The Germans needed more tanks, faster and cheaper, and the Zimmerit was an unnecessary addition. Moreover, magnetic mines no longer posed a serious threat to German tanks. Zimmerit remained on many vehicles until the end of the war and can still be seen on some surviving examples in museums or monuments. This is an interesting element of the history of military technology and demonstrates German innovation. According to the order of the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht, issued on December 29, 1943, the following vehicles were covered with Zimmerit: Panzer III, Panzer IV, Panther tank, Tiger tank, Elephant, Stug 3 and 4, Hetzer and Nashorn. In addition to the above, other vehicles, such as the SDKFZ 251 and self-propelled anti-tank guns, were occasionally coated with Zimmerit. It was not planned to cover units that did not take part in direct combat on the front with this material.